Welcome to Esperanza and Sabbatical. Welcome to my channel, your channel, our channel. Today, we are going to talk about the big thing, traveling Africa, throughout Africa. Are you ready to travel throughout Africa? If you are, this is a video for you because I'm going to share my in and out experience on what it is like traveling the continent. Before we start, I'd like to tell you something. Honestly, from me to you, your trip will not go according to plan. I want you to put that in your mind that your trip in Africa will not go according to what you have planned or you will plan. Now, with that out of the way, I will tell you why later on. Let's delve right in. There are three ways to traveling throughout Africa. By sea, but that's more for countries across the coast, by air, and then by road, right? Each of these have its own advantage and disadvantage, but let's discard the sea for a moment. Let's just deal with traveling Africa by road or by air. Now, if you love road trips, you might feel the need of just hopping into a car and then travel throughout Africa. Interesting, beautiful sceneries. Those are the advantage. Beautiful sceneries. You get to see communities. You pass nights in places, and like you have all this experience, and then it's priceless. But traveling by road is one of the most challenging things you will ever do in Africa, because the road has its own unwritten rule, I think, depending from where you are, one country to the other. So if you're ready to, brave all the, hurdles, of traveling by road, then you might just enjoy it. But in most cases, it can be very tedious. So where do you start? I will say, wherever you are, if you want to travel, please make sure you have your visa ready, or visas of all the countries that you're going to be visiting, at least. Please have those ready. Because if you don't have, oh, because, one thing you realize with agents on the road, immigration agents and, all the other agents is they, I'm sorry for saying it, but they are a bit, well, they will racketeer you. Yeah, there is racketeering happening. So all they look for is that one little flaw, that one small little problem, and then they will just want to make money out of you. So make sure that, if you're going to visit 7 countries, you have visas for all the 7 countries, or some countries might be visa free for you, which is quite good, but make sure that you have those. I'll tell you why. You can also get visas, prior to crossing. They'll usually have like on roads, like their little offices where, they can process you and then give you a visa and stuff and then let you in. But the problem is this, I have a friend of mine, she was from Australia, and then she was traveling, she was at the border of Togo, entering into Ghana, and then the visa on arrival for Ghana, I believe, is $150. And then the agent there made her pay $200, 150 for the visa and $50 as his handling fee. $50, handling fee. We both know, the $50 goes into the agent's pocket. But just imagine how you're getting ripped off, for wanting to entering into a country, and then you get faced with such. But had she maybe acquired a visa early on wherever she was, it would have been easier, and she would just present herself there, and then please have all your documentation. Have all your documentation, whatever is needed, like yellow card. You gotta have your yellow card. Not that they really care, but they just want to find something off with you so that they can just capitalize. So you gotta have your yellow card. Make sure you have your visas. That's very important. And well, also you have yellow card visas. They no longer really hustling or you know making issues out of the COVID, the COVID vaccine. They're not, so you're okay with that. But make sure you have those things, and then all the other necessary things, depending on the country where you are. Just make sure you have them ready before. Now, number two, if you have dollars, make sure you get local currencies and do not show the dollars, especially when there are agents or there are, like, wherever you are, just make sure you do not. Because when you do, and there's nothing wrong with you, they will just be pestering you and forcing you, or like they just want something out of you. I'll tell you my experience. I wanted to travel to Burkina Faso. My first attempt into Burkina Faso. I get to the border of Ghana and Burkina Faso, and then I'm met by by the immigration agents. My papers are in order. My Ghana visa is okay, and then I know I need a VOA to cross into Burkina. Now, I was with Kamilat, and I'm sure those who are watching the channel or who have watched the channel will know Kamilat. She's from Tamale, so we were both traveling to Burkina, and as she has family there, it would have been easier for me to find my way there. Now we get to the immigration, of Ghana. Just imagine, I'm legal in Ghana, and I'm about to get out of Ghana to go into Burkina Faso. And the immigration was telling me, your visa is single entry, so if you go into Burkina, you will not be able to come back inside here unless you get a visa in Ouagadougou or such. The thing is, I knew that was just them trying to extort money from me. That's what it was. Because, as an immigration agent, if somebody is legal in your country and then they're about to leave, all you have to do is just stamp them out. Why do you care so much about whether I'm coming back or whether this and that, whether I need to leave my passport and stuff like that, And then the guy was telling me, as you're going into Burkina, why don't you leave your passport here, and then we can give you how do I call that again? There's a receipt, something that they'll give you, and then when you come back, and you can take your passport, and then you can hand over the receipt. But again, why would I leave my passport, in an office that I have no control over as I go into a country, and then if something happens there, so what is it? And it wasn't, the notes that they give you when you leave the passport is supposed to be free of charge, you just leave your passport. But these guys were actually speaking in Hausa, and what they didn't know was that Kamilat could hear Hausa, because Kamilat is, from the northern part of Ghana. So they were talking among themselves as they saw stamps in her passport. She later told me that, she said, that one was telling the other, his superior, that, the man has so many stamps in his passport, and I'm using two passports, the old one has expired. But as they were looking at stamps in the passport, the man tells his superior that, this man here travels a lot, so it means he has it. By he has it, it's basically a way of saying that he's got money. So, and then he tells his boss that in Hausa, that is, at least from this one here, we can make 2K, we can make at least 2K. Now, she was listening to that and she didn't tell me. But when I realized that these guys were just trying to racketeer, and then they were just, causing us delay, and then our bus on the other side left. The bus that we were on left. So now we were stranded at the border while these guys wanted to make money out of me. I was really, I got a little bit upset. So, and then I took my passport and I said, give it to me here, and then I'm not crossing anymore. And yeah, that was about it. And you could see the disappointment in their face as they knew that they were not going to make any money out of me. But on top of it, I just missed the bus that I paid money for, and then it's left, and then we had to return back. And then this man is telling me after that to say that I should show him appreciation by giving him a little bit of money. I said, are you retarded or what is wrong in your head? You've just costed me my crossing and my transport because you wanted to make money out of me, and then now that you're not making money, you're still asking for money. So these are the things that you get to meet at immigration, and at borders with agents crossing down the road. It's a roller coaster. You can never really guess what happens next, but just make sure that you have all your documents with you. And even when you do have all your documents with you, you just need to know that the unexpected can happen, because I mean, these guys are out there for money, they're not there for work, so you just want to make money. And as if that is it with traveling by road, you will be shocked. There is more. There is more. The amount of checkpoints you get traveling Africa, just the checkpoint alone can just discourage you. You have checkpoints from one, in some countries that I will not name, you have checkpoint after like, I don't know, after 50 meters. Every 50 meters you have a checkpoint. If it's not immigration, it's police. If it's not police, it's custom. If it's not custom, it's drug enforcement agencies. If it's not that, it's something else. It's one thing right after the other. And if you're driving a personal vehicle, I think you're gonna be exhausted. Now the question is, why not just unify all this system and then just have them either at the border or a few meters from the border, so that when people cross, they're just free? I don't know, but that's the reality of traveling by road. But once you've passed all those hurdles, once you have passed, all the checkpoints and the agents and stuff like that, you get to love what you see. You find yourself in a land of I don't know how to say this, but Africa is so paradisiac. It's so just, I don't know. It's like you've just been through an exorcism and then you are there. It's just you and nature and the people, and you don't have to look over your shoulders to know if there's a cop car coming. Like in some countries, especially when you have a different skin tone, you're not really, you always alert on high alert, but in most African countries it's not the case. You really are free, and you get to enjoy it. So traveling by road has its advantage in the sense that you get to experience the lives of the people that live in those communities and areas. But the disadvantage is just that the processing and the officials and all the red tape of traveling is a problem. But again, it's your choice. If you're brave enough to to handle that, you will enjoy traveling by road. And the second option is traveling by plane. Now, it's the best option, very best, especially if you want to go quickly from one country to the other, one city to the other. But using flights, traveling by plane in Africa is, I do not know how to say it, but it does not make financial sense. It is so expensive that you wonder what is really going on. Why the prices are ridiculous. When you take, for instance, Georgia, Atlanta to New York City, I don't know how much do you pay, but it's a fraction of what you pay. For instance, from Douala to Yaoundé, it's, I mean, you know, from Kinshasa to Lubumbashi, it's like $200 and $300 for a region for a local flight. And if you're crossing countries, it doesn't matter how short. Abidjan, Ivory Coast to Accra is it's about like $400. I think so, about $400. I stand corrected though, $400. But when you use the road, it's it's about $85. Yes, it's about $85 when you use the road to go to Abidjan. But obviously, you know, the road is tedious, and just what I was telling you now here, you know, all the things happening on the road that can just get you very upset. But I mean, you know, traveling for $400, it's barely worth it, you know. Whatever you're doing there, it must really have meaning, you know, and it must make financial sense, or else there is no point into that. So if you want speed and then you have the money to pay, you know, get your visa and fly by air. It will save you all the hassles and bustles of, you know, being on the road, and then, you know, having to explain yourself at every single checkpoint, even when everything is correct. But if you want to see Africa for what it truly is, you want to go city to city, you want to see people, you want to walk through communities, then you're gonna have to find ways of just, you know, travel by road, of traveling by road. And well, you don't have a problem when you are within a country, a single country. It's much more easier. But crossing the borders, it's crazy. It is very crazy, you know. And I pray, but again, I know it's useless because African leaders are short-sighted when it comes to such matters. You know, it does not really bother them much. You know, but again, you know, it disconnects people. It really does disconnect people, and then when that happens, you know, there is no meaningful exchange, and there is no economy, and there is nothing of such. So yes, so those are my views. So if you want to travel by road, you know what to do. If you want to travel by air, you know what to do. But in all cases, keep your foreign currencies away. Change them wherever you can, and then keep parts safe, and then use local currencies as much as possible, because you don't want to be cheated. And one thing I tried, I have to say it, you know, it didn't work. But if you have an accent, like I do have an accent, people pick it up. They know you're not from there. And you know, whenever you have an accent, you get taxed for the accent. So I would not advise you, but if you can, you know, try and find a way to blend in your accent, or speak a bit slowly, so that you know you do not come out as a Mr. Pound, because every time you speak, it's like you're spitting dollars, or you're spitting euros, or you're spitting pound, and people pick it up, and then they're like, okay, you know, not everybody, but some people will want to take advantage of you in that regard. But yeah, that's my few tips, you know, on traveling Africa. And do let me know if you have an experience, or you have experienced something like that traveling, or maybe you've heard stories like that. I'd like to hear it, and then I'd like to know what you think. You know, share this with friends, families, like, subscribe, and then I will see you on the next installment. I'm still at home. I'm set to be traveling very soon again, but as I am finding myself at home, I'm releasing videos every time. Before I get out of the house, I just make sure that, you know, I release a video, and then I share with you, and then we can discuss that further down in the comment section or later on. Alright, follow me on other social medias, you know, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, you know, I'm sure you'll find me there. And then the links are also on the top of the channel, so you can interact with me a little bit more. Until very next time, take care and goodbye.